Is it time? Did you start?
Yeah, it started.
Oh my god. Hey, hey everybody. Welcome to Therapy Code. I wanted to say cluster.
Yeah, you keep saying that. Hey, hey, hey. It's
Hey,
David.
hey, hey. We are the last two remaining of the four agreements. Which
You
which
really
one are
are
you?
thinking about these.
Which one are you, David?
Which one? It's not, don't take anything personally. I know that for sure.
Oh yeah, that's not you.
Always do your best. I'm the always do your best.
Oh, I like that.
How cute. Which one are you?
I don't know. What's the first one?
Do you remember all of them?
No, no, I don't think I could do any of them.
Those are the two I can think of.
There's be impeccable with your word. There's
I think you're that one.
I'd try, but I don't know if that's the right one. What are the others?
We're the others. We got three of them.
Yes. Speak with intent. No, it's not
No.
it. I gotta look. Anyway, how are you, David Cato?
Good. How are you, Ryan Wiki?
Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. I think I'm. Yeah, I think I'm. Don't make assumptions. And
You
you're
make,
always your
you make
best.
assumptions. You for sure make assumptions.
Shit.
Which
What
which
if I just
which
said a
agreement
couple?
do y'all think Ryan is of the 4 agreements? Which one do
I
you think
am
Ryan is? I say
temperance.
I'm I say I'm always do your best, but let me know if you think so.
Yeah, you don't always do your best. Is anybody ever any of the four agreements? I'm tired. How are you?
I'm also tired.
What is going on?
Yeah.
Everybody, David's bald. This has
Yes,
happened. This is a thing.
yeah. There's a difference between bald and shaved head. I have a shaved head. This is intentional.
Wow. Okay. So you're not balding, but not bald.
Baldish. Baldish.
Baldish. Bald adjacent.
Baldish Gate 3.
Uh,
Well, that Baldish Gay 3.
You don't want to meet the first two.
That's the name of this episode, Baldish Gay 3.
I like that. That's like a new Cat in the Hat book.
Mhm.
Somebody takes off their hat and Baldish Gay 2 is under there, and then you're under that guy's hat. Good stuff.
Well, what are we doing today, Ryan? Ryan had an idea.
Oh, we're going old school. We're going old school. I found some old some Reddit questions for you to answer.
Are these regular Reddit questions or therapy-based Reddit questions?
Yeah, no, I think it's from Ask a Therapist or something like
Okay.
that.
And this is blind reaction. So Ryan has read these. I have not. So these are all new to me.
That's true. We're gonna ambush Baldur's Gay 3. See what happens.
So dumb, so funny.
Episode title. How's everybody doing out there?
Yeah, how
You do
are
some crowd work.
you?
Why so quiet?
Yeah. What
yeah.
do they say in England? You okay?
Yeah, okay.
You okay?
Do you feel like you'd be a crowd work comedian or would you be a material comedian?
You all right? I think we talked about this.
I think we did.
Uh, I definitely be crowd work because even when I present now, I use crowd work to do most of my presenting because I don't want to deliver the same information over and over again. So yeah, crowd work for sure. What about you?
I'd be scared to do the crowd work, but I think I'd be good at it.
There were some really good crowd work people. One of the drag queens I like a lot, Bob the drag queen, does crowd work comedy. And then there's this woman, I think it's Carissa Hendricks is her name. She kind of like dresses as kind of like this pinup, like almost like 1920s pinup style. And she's hilarious. And she does a lot of crowd work.
Good stuff. You ready
Yeah.
for a question? You ready
Mm,
for this? Buckle in.
What'd you
I,
say?
I, you ready for a question?
Yeah, let's go.
Ooh. Um, I thought of you when I saw this one because I think perhaps this is something you can answer for us.
Okay.
This is from a person. This is from Penguin 7117. You could you could just Google it if you want to know. I say my therapist asks me where I feel emotions in my body, but I don't seem to feel anything outside of my mind. I'm concerned that I don't really understand what she is looking for. Can you tell me what sorts of things I should be feeling? And then in the details, it says, is she just looking for the physiological effects of, for example, anxiety, like elevated heart rate, jitteriness, or is it something else? She says it is normal for someone in my position to not be able to feel what she is asking me for, and we are working on it, but I'm just curious what I should be looking out for. I don't want to mislead her by just not understanding the question. Thank you for your insight into this.
What a very self-aware therapy seeking person. I love that.
Do
Yeah.
you? You're so nice. You're much better than me at the 4 agreements here, because 'cause I'm like, "Hmm." I read all sorts of things into that. They're very, seem very socially anxious. Like, I'm totally, definitely saying the wrong thing to my therapist, and if I say the wrong thing, it'll be the end of the world, and I don't know. They seem sweet. I like penguins. Do you like penguins?
I do like penguins, they're so cute.
I think it's really cool that we taught penguins how to use Reddit.
So cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
over
Well,
7,000 apparently. Go ahead.
well, since I'm the expert in this, I wonder how you would answer this person first, and then I'll give my answer.
Goodness. I guess there's 2 ways. There's the kind, nice way of saying, "Honey, relax. You're a good penguin. Say whatever comes to mind." Then there's the way I'd probably do it, which is like, "Let's talk about that. About how, what is it like for you to think." I guess I'm reading it literally. I don't know. Are they talking to me as their therapist and saying this to me, or are they talking to me about someone else? Who cares? I would probably say, like, talk to me about this. You seem very, very concerned about what your therapist thinks about you. I do like a lot that this penguin has spoken to their therapist a little bit about it. It seems like they've had some conversations, so they seem to have been comfortable ish bringing up their uncertainty. But
Mhm,
it strikes me that this is a person who is aware of the fact that they are anxious, is vocalized that, is working on it in therapy, but perhaps doesn't have the meta awareness to see just how anxious they are and how this very question is anxiety encapsulated and bottled up.
mhm. Yeah, so I have follow-up questions, right, which we don't have answers to, which are, what are they in therapy for? What are they looking to achieve in therapy? Like, if it's somebody who doesn't have access to feelings and they want that, then that would be an approach that I would take of helping, provide psychoeducation. I think one of the things that's missing, or what could be missing, is that the therapist may not be providing the psychoeducation to help the penguin, our little penguin, understand, or a big penguin, I don't know what size they are, but to help our penguin understand why they're working into trying to find sensation in the body. Not everyone is a sensations person, and not everyone has the access to those sensations. And so it would be more along the lines of providing psychoeducation about why sensation is important, what we're
Okay,
trying
what
to.
is that? What is that? Pretend like I'm a penguin, if you can, and
So
like, what
do
is
education.
what why do we, Mr. Therapist man? You are my therapist. Why is it important that I pay attention to my body?
Yeah. Well, so let's I mean, I need a little bit of context, so let's create some. So context being like, you come to therapy to speak with me because you.
I live in a large herd with 7,000 of my brothers and sisters. People are mean, some of them are mean, and there are 4 orcas that circle us constantly, and I'm constantly aware of my own mortality. And Tommy Penguin looks at me funny, and I don't think he likes me.
Okay, yeah. So totally understandable, right? Do the validation thing.
It's
I totally get why you're here to
very
see me,
relatable.
penguin person. Um, and to be able to say, like, there's probably something happening inside that you're not aware of. Like, there's probably some kind of fear, some kind of anxiety. Maybe there's some anger at Tommy too. Like, who knows what's in there? But one of the reasons we look for sensation, if we can find it, is to help track what's coming up, what's causing it, and how we move through it. How we can sit with whatever's uncomfortable and move through it. Like identifying, like, if it's fear, what does that fear, like, if you're afraid of the orcas, what does that feel like inside? Do you feel like you want to run away? Do you feel like you want to disappear? Do you feel like you shut down? What does that feel like? And if there is any associated sensation with that, if there are no sensations, then we just try to find, how do we help keep you safe? Because it sounds like an assessment of safety overall.
Your explanation sounds very, very, very psychodynamic in a sense that it's very insight oriented. It's very much like there is something that may not be conscious for you that we might discover through this process.
How do you want me to explain it?
No, I like that. I mean, prior to when a lot of these somatic therapies arose in the past, I don't know, 10 years when they gained a lot of popularity, I always used to do a presentation on like, I think the three major waves of psychotherapy, at least as I see them, as many like or as many people see them. There's the analytic wave, which really says therapy is about finding out the things that are going on inside of you of which you are not conscious and making them conscious. And there's a humanistic wave. Therapy works via relationship. Therapy works via all the things associated with being in relation with others. And then there's sort of the cognitive behavioral wave, or probably more appropriate to say the behavioral wave, which is who cares about all that stuff? Just start acting differently.
Mhm.
I've always, I think that these somatic therapies, different people have different I think it's very integrative for one, and then I think though different people also have different takes on, which of those prior three traditions it is most closely related to. So I thought it was fun to hear that a very analytic bent to it.
It also may not be important to the person that they understand what's happening. And so if they're not really finding it important that, like, sometimes people come in there like, I'm not in touch with my feelings and I want to get in touch with my feelings. That's going to be more along the lines of I'm going to do what I just did and explain psychodynamically or psychoeducationally, like why it's important to notice those things. But if somebody's not really there, I'm going to do what I know how to do and try to find something that feels good to them first. Because once we can find, because people come to therapy usually because not because things are going well. People come to therapy because they want to work on something, whether it's something current, future, or past, right? If they come into therapy, they're wanting to get something. And so I'm going to help them obtain that. And if I follow my own agenda and say, "Hey, this is what you need to be doing," then I've already lost at being a good therapist for them. Like, I want to be able to, in fact, Allison for somatic experiencing teaches that if you go into a session with, and I may have said this before, but if you go into a session with somebody and you have your own agenda for them that doesn't match what they're wanting or looking for, then that's the therapist's own flight response. So that's my own anxiety that I want something to happen for them. And so I try to stay away from agenda because I want to help them get what they need. But I want to know what this penguin wants out of therapy. Like, maybe he does want to get more in touch, they, them, or whatever pronouns. Maybe they do want to get in touch with their feelings, their emotions, and that's one way to do it. But I think it just varies based on what they're looking for. But I would never go in without educating them as to what I'm doing.
I wonder if, oh no, I can't scroll. I just took a picture, so I don't have any more information. It'd be crazy to have orcas around. What on a scale of 1 to 10? How I was gonna try to say it. Like, how conscious of safety and danger are you? Because I know for me, as a white hetero man, I'm generally not conscious of safety, and I feel like this is what a lot of people maybe don't understand if you come from a place of privilege, is that people who are less privileged may live with danger as a much more real part of their life. For you, like, how close are the orcas on a scale of 1 to 10?
So the orcas to me would be a one, like a 0, 1.
Well, but the metaphoricas. Another episode title, we're on fire.
Mosquitoes, on the other hand, they're not a 10, but I do not like them.
How
Um,
much is physical danger and safety a part of your awareness?
Well, and you named like being white male, like I do have the white male thing down, and we talked about in cluster, like I am a white man, but I'm like a lesser white man because I'm gay, and so it's kind of like sometimes people see me, and now like I guess somebody told me I look like a Hell's Angels biker,
That was
uh,
me.
because of the tattoo and the beard, and and I'm like, okay, like you could just see me walk and or talk, and you'd be like, oh, that's not what that person's about. Um, but um, but yeah, there is something that comes along with being a queer person, and they, you know, with the political climate the way it is, like having to assess for safety, like, I'm trying not to go into like politics, so I won't. But
I think that's relevant these days, though, because I think so many people feel a lot less physically safe than perhaps
yeah,
5
well,
years ago.
if somebody is like wearing something or displaying something that I know is anti-gay, then or anti anything that's not cis het, you know, Caucasian, right? Then there is some fear that's going to be there where I'm just like, oh, am I safe at this moment? They don't necessarily have to do anything to cause me to feel unsafe, but just like, bumper stickers or t-shirts or hats or whatever that people might be wearing can be like, oh, I need to straighten up and try to like go incognito a bit. It's kinda hard when I like, if I'm at the gym and I have a rainbow tattoo on my calf, sometimes I'm wearing rainbows as clothes. Um, but yeah, it's hard because there is that sense of threat that's there. But I'm not, like, not leaving the house because I'm afraid, and I'm not, like, not going to, like, the gym, for example. It's not I don't avoid going to the gym because I'm afraid. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's always fun to not fun perhaps, but it's interesting for me to wrap my mind around. Like, I dated a girl once and, she was like, "Where were you at last night?" or whatever, and I was like, "Oh, I was just running around the park." She's like, "The park? Like, around where you live? Like, at what time?" And I was like, "I don't know. I was there from, like, 10 until, like" I couldn't sleep, so I was walking around until, like, 10 until midnight, and it was like, she couldn't comprehend it because as a woman, you don't go walking around a big dark park in central Phoenix from 10 to 12, and I'm like, "What's gonna happen to me?" But for her, it was she was like, "I cannot believe you. You are absolutely insane. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard." And I'm like, "No, no." But I don't know. I've been having I'd had that conversation twice recently with clients who I think didn't necessarily appreciate how different other people's perception of safety is, with people who don't realize what it would be like or can't imagine what it would be like to be a minority or a woman or both of the, or you add on whatever layers of diversity. Like, I don't know. It's interesting.
When it's about our level of exposure to it, right?
Right.
Like I grew up in a small Texas town and, even though there were people there who had different colored skin than I did, like I never really met any gay people until I was in high school. I didn't meet a trans person, at least to my knowledge, until I moved to Arizona, right? And so I didn't have a lot of exposure. And so I think it's about kind of what you're exposed to. And sometimes it's like understanding like sometimes where they're coming from because they didn't get exposure and didn't get to be taught like that there are different things. But I feel like we kind of got off on a tangent. But
That's what we do. That's,
we do. We
welcome to
do.
Tampa Code.
We do. Thanks, Penguin Man. I really like your post. Good
Penguins are
luck.
man.
Good luck in therapy.
What's your favorite kind of penguin?
Emperor penguins.
Is that the only kind you could think of?
Probably.
Yeah. Me too. I was like, "Oh, shit, there's there's
No.
Emperor, and then there's, like, the little ones too." I like
Yeah.
the little ones better. Emperor are too tall. I'm very, intimidated by an emperor.
I just like how regal they look.
I know, right? They just stand so tall.
And they're so cute. I wanna hug them all. I want you to know that.
Do you feel like I stand tall like an emperor penguin?
Yes, sure.
When I was at Hazelden, there was this great old therapist, who, for some reason, never really seemed to wanna give me the time of day, and I figured he just sees interns come and go every year, but one day, it's probably like a year and a half into my internship and then postdoc, and he pulled me in his office, and he was like, "I hear you're not a bad person. I wanna apologize." I was like, "What?" And he's like, "You just you walk around so confidently and you look like an asshole." He was like, "But I hear that you're not, and I understand that, and so I want to apologize." So I've been wondering
That's
ever since,
weird. That's
I just walk
weird,
around
dude.
like an asshole? Probably that exact walk isn't quite,
Probably, yeah, you gotta have the bounce with it
that's
too.
yeah.
That is so bizarre.
Mm.
I've had people tell me that they thought I was intimidating. I was
Well,
also in leadership for a time,
you
so
look
that
like a Hell's Angel.
well, now I do.
True, and you got your, like, Battle Beast
Yeah,
T-shirt, very metal. What is
yeah.
Battle Beast?
Battle Beast is a so I'm sad because, Battle Beast's lead singer, left the band,
Yeah,
I think a few months ago, but their most recent album is just incredible, but this has got, Dragon and, you know, battle scene because, of course, it's Battle Beast, but yeah, really cool, they are gosh, I guess you can call them symphonic. They're symphonic metal there. I believe they're Dutch. Look, I think they're Dutch.
I feel like Dutch metal bands are the most metal.
They're my favorite. They yeah, they're from Finland. So no, they're Finnish then. Okay. Yeah, they're Finnish. Um
They're Finnish, and now they're finished, so
well, they're still going. They have a new singer,
oh, okay.
but that singer was just like her voice is it's unbelievable.
They
Unbelievable.
switched to a female singer, huh?
No, they've always had female singer.
Oh,
That's
they always did. I
mhm,
thought
yeah.
they had a
That's
ma
that's my gig. Like, I listen to a lot of female fronted metal bands, so lots of metal
female
bands.
Finnish metal bands. That's a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
niche to
the
have.
best bands come from Finland, the Netherlands, and also Italy. Yeah, Italy has a couple really good ones. I mean, Canada has some good metal as well.
Right.
America, some. Like, the closest thing and then I'll stop because I 'cause I'm still going off on a tangent. Evanescence and Hailstorm are, like, the 2 closest
Okay.
bands, and
What
you have
what is it about these, like,
idea what I'm talking what?
what is it about these northern climates? I mean, minus Italy, I suppose, but Sweden, Norway, Canada, like, does something about the frigid cold and long winters breed good metal?
I actually don't know the answer to that.
You know, based on that theory, who would make a really excellent metal artist? An emperor penguin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to say too, when I thought of the Emperor Penguin, I actually thought of the Pokemon. What is the
I should know this. My son plays all the time now.
yeah, it's, so Piplup yeah, so Piplup is the starter, and then it's Piplup, and then gosh, where is the yeah, Piplup. Okay, yeah, Piplup, Prinplup, and Empoleon is the final, evolution, and so when I think of Emperor penguins, I think of Empoleon, the cute Pokemon. I mean, he kinda looks a little severe, but I still think he's cute.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Pokemon. That's what they're supposed to look like. I think I would name my band Death Emperor if I was an emperor penguin who was into death metal.
You know what? I wonder if that is a band already.
What about
It
Arctic
sounds
Plague?
familiar.
Arctic Plague.
Arctic Plague, what?
Yeah.
So so actually, there is a Norwegian black metal band called Emperor, just Emperor.
Oh, okay. All right.
Death Emperor is not taken yet. I went to college with a girl who I still, she's still in a metal band in Tucson, and we still do karaoke together sometimes. But she came up when we were in college. She came up with the metal band name Cognitive Dissonance.
Nice. Nice.
Stupid, but so much fun.
That would be a good. There's got to be a band out there that's stolen that by now. But I'm gonna start up Arctic Plague. You want to be a
Okay,
part?
what instrument do you play, Ryan?
Well, I just feel the rhythm. I just do what I mean, this
You're like
is
you're like one of those douchey guys on a college campus who just plays a guitar on the
no, no, I feel like I would be in this sort of like, hyper violent performative death metal space where I just, like, pick up stuff and I, like, slam it into other stuff, and that's my instrument. Slamming, like, glasses on my head and, like, just that's how I would go. Just
got it.
throwing
Well, when
things.
I start my metal band, I'll hire you to be the break stuff on his head guy.
Alright.
Cool.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
Like,
Slap
yeah.
myself with a belt. Sounding This is
Um,
getting weird.
yeah, it got weird. Okay, give us another one. The next one. We're just like we I forgot where we left off, but
We
that's a
were I think we got that one. I think we got that one. This is one, I think we allow we don't have to do a long episode tonight, but this is one where I was just curious about when this has happened to you.
mm,
It's a long one, so I'll start reading and then I'll trail off at some point. But the question from Holiday Wishbone is why do therapists make running into clients in public sound like a nightmare? And Holiday Wishbone says, I've been seeing a lot of posts from therapists saying things like, my worst nightmare is running into a client in public, and I don't fully understand it. I get the confidentiality aspect and not wanting to cross boundaries, but the way it's described sometimes feels really extreme. Like we live in the same city, it's not that crazy. We might run into each other at the same point. My perspective, it doesn't seem like a huge deal, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yes, what's bothering me is how personal it can feel reading that. Like, am I really that uncomfortable to be around? Is my presence outside of therapy really that unwelcome? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, talk about a question that you could analyze.
I like this question, and I've actually had this happen to me because, of course, I have. It was a former patient I worked with in treatment,
You're on
and
it. But
they ended up being my waiter at a restaurant, and and they did not like me when I was their therapist, and so it was a very awkward kind of like because I was with other people when I was there, and it just like I could feel the tension and nobody else could because they had no idea what was going on.
uh-huh.
And I couldn't say what was going on, of course, but it was just kind of odd. That was the first one, and then the other ones have more so been, private practice. There was one of them who, I ran into at an event, and I do tell people, like, if we run in some of the same like, nearby circles, like, I let them know, "Hey, if you see me in public, if you want to approach me and talk to me, you may, but I will not approach you and talk to you." And that happened once with, one of my clients and, came up to me and was like, "Hey, can I say hello?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely," and introduced me to their partner and all this stuff, and I was like, "Hello," like, not, like, breaching HIPAA, like, while I'm standing there, be like, "By the way, what we talked about in therapy yesterday." Um, but,
Later.
yeah, I don't think it's weird unless somebody makes it weird.
Well, I
Uh,
think what's weird is, yeah, like if you see somebody and they're not saying hi to you, and you're like, and I'm always, like, worried that I'll accidentally be like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" Like, reflexively say that. So I feel like you just get in that, like, weird situation of, I know somebody's here, and I gotta go, and I can't quite tell the people around me why I gotta go, and it can just turn a normal situation weird.
Yeah, what was it? I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, they can come up to you, but if they start, I mean, you can set boundaries, right? And if they say, "Hello, nice to see you. I'll see you later. Bye," like you can make it short and not like we're like, "Hey, let's have a drink together." Like, no, we're not doing that. Like that feels a little feels in the movie Mean Girls. Did you see Mean Girls?
I've never seen Mean Girls.
You need to watch Mean Girls, it's really good. But, one of the characters says because they see one of their teachers, like, in this store in the mall that they're working at, and they're like they see a teacher and they're like, "Oh, seeing a teacher outside of school is like seeing a dog walk on its hind legs." And sometimes I feel like that, uh, like seeing me outside of my realm as a therapist and running into me in public, it's like seeing a dog walk on their hind legs. It's so unusual. But yeah, I mean, other than that, just don't be weird. I mean, I'm already socially awkward enough. I'm already weird. Like, just don't make it weirder.
Yeah, my best story when I worked in Colorado, it was a very small town, so you can go anywhere without seeing somebody,
Mhm,
whether it was a client or somebody from work.
mhm.
Like literally every time we went out, we'd see somebody somewhere, and I couldn't even like sucks because I like to just roll out of bed in my pajamas and go to Costco without needing to like shower and get dressed or anything, but you couldn't do that. So anyway, so I was like my worst seeing a client in public story, which went just fine, but I was at the gym with my kids who must have been like 1 and 3 at the time, and we were, like, jumping on the trampoline, and I was amusing my children. So my client walked by when I was in midair, like, just jumping on a trampoline, screaming for a little child, like, I was like, "Oh." I didn't say hey, but he saw me and he smiled, he gave me the nod.
Did you feel uncomfortable? Was that awkward for you?
Not really, because like, hey, I was with my kids. I'm not particularly self-conscious about it, but I do think it was a fun moment to get taught
Yeah,
whatever.
I do have that fear that, like, I'll be out, like, with friends and, maybe doing karaoke and then run into someone. I do have this thing where sometimes I see people and I'm like, "Oh my god, they look so familiar." Were they a former patient? Have I seen them at the treatment center I work at? Like, there's these thoughts that go through my head, and I'm just like, "Stop thinking about that. It doesn't matter." Because if that's true and they don't talk to you, it doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
If they come up to you and say, "Hey, remember me?" Like, that actually happened to me at the gym with a former client I worked with, and, it wasn't weird at all. They just came up and they said hello, and we talked for a minute or so and went on about our workout.
I'm remembering.
Don't make it weird. Don't do that.
Don't make
Don't
it
do
weird.
those things. If you go up to your therapist, don't confront them about something. See your current therapist if it's a former therapist. And if it's that therapist, and talk to them about the encounter in therapy and say, what was that like for you? Don't make it weird.
Must've been, like, 15 years ago or something. I saw a colleague in public. I didn't think anything of it. And the next day, they came into my office, and they're like, "So I guess we need to talk about that, huh?" And I was like, "We do?" They're like, "Yeah, like, did you tell HR or should I?" And I'm like, "Excuse me?" And they're like, "Well, I saw what you were doing." It's like, "What I was doing? What are you talking about?" And they were like, "Look, man, you definitely had a drink. Like, are you okay?" And I was like, "Oh, I know I'm working in recovery, but that's not a thing, like, not a concern." They're like, "You know, it's okay. I'm sorry I threatened HR. You can talk to me. Tell me what's going on with you." And I was like, "No, no, no. You've got
What?
we got the wrong thing going on right now." So that was a fun
That is
that was a
awkward.
fun one. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Yeah, y'all
Also,
don't make it
I
weird.
didn't even, like, get to the fact that I mean, it was like it was at a bar and grill, but, why were they at a bar? So, I don't know.
I did one time see someone who I knew had been in treatment who was working on recovery drinking in public. I did see that. That happened. I mean, what am I going to do? Go up and be like, mm-mm-mm. Or I'm telling HR. I'm going to HR tomorrow and telling them that I saw you out drinking. Well, okay. You can't be a human being. Fine. Relapses don't happen. Slips don't happen. Whatever.
Mhm. I got some good stories, but too, not good on the confidentiality front, a little too much. Anyway, we haven't talked about penguins in long enough.
Wait, what'd you say?
I was saying there's a story I wanna tell, but I don't think I can I don't think it works on the confidentiality.
There are stories I have that I also cannot tell because of confidentiality, so I won't.
We should have a podcast called "Stories We Can't Tell," which is just us staring at the camera for 45 minutes.
Yeah, I thought about doing like a TikTok series of just being like, "Guess what my client said today?" And then, like, cutting to black, and they don't get to know because they
That gag's not gonna take you too far, I don't think.
you'll never believe what somebody said in therapy today. Well, I can't tell you, so
Wow. Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. So, you got anything we got a topic for next week. At least a
Ooh,
mini topic for next week.
yeah,
What else?
yeah.
What else? You got anything you wanna capture?
No, I like doing the Reddit stuff. If we want to go back to doing that for a little bit and just kind of see where we're at, how we're feeling, that sounds good to me. We're coming
I
up
think
with
it's always fun.
goals,
I think it's better too when we don't just answer them directly, when we talk about examples.
metal bands and Pokemon, and
Yep. What's your favorite Pokemon?
this is gonna be so cheesy because it's basic. I mean, well, I have two, and they're both dragon types because of course they are. But they're from the first gen, which is You know, the very first Charizard. Charizard is my favorite. Big red fire dragon, love Charizard. Did you just have to look up Charizard?
No, I know Charizard.
I'm like, "Get out of here." And then my other favorite is also from 1st gen, which is
Dragonite?
Dragon.
That's my son's top 2.
Really?
Yep, yep.
He knows business.
He knows what's going on.
I am excited for the new Pokemon game that's coming out, Winds and Waves, because one of their starters oh, what do they call it? Is it Pombon? I think it's Pombon, and Pombon is a Pomeranian fire type.
That's wow,
I
okay.
always I always pick a fire starter every time I play a new Pokemon game, and I'm so glad that this Pomeranian is because if I got another dog, I would get a Pomeranian, but I know that they all have lots of health issues, so I probably
So were you into Pokemon when you were I feel like I
Oh,
was too old for Pokemon when you're not that
no,
much younger than me.
I had an ex that I dated in my late 20s who convinced me that Pokemon was good, and I always thought, "Oh, that's for kids," and I would never try that. And then I had this I think it was a Nintendo DS. I think it was before the 3DS came out. I ended up getting a 3DS, which I still have, but it was a Nintendo DS, and he's like, "You have to play Pokemon Fire Red. It's a remaster of Pokemon Red. Play Fire Red." And I started with Fire Red, and I have been into it ever since. And I was like, "Oh my god, it's just a JRPG. It's a JRPG about collecting shit and evolving and leveling stuff up." And I'm like, I'm all about it. I will catch them all. I do catch them all.
So you play the video game, but do you do the card game?
I never got into the card game.
Probably good. Yeah, neither did I, but my son is, all about it. It's
Collector. Yeah.
no, I wouldn't go that far. He's 6. He doesn't have any money, but I
But
keep
you do.
trying to yeah, I keep trying to buy you can buy, like, an entire deck, basically, but since he's young and he's new to it, I'm buying the level 1 decks, and those are really boring. Yeah, it's rough, but I'm playing to support him. We went to go see the Mario movie last night.
Is it good?
It's fine. The reviews are terrible because yeah, I mean,
Well,
it
nobody
doesn't
can be
make a
happy
lot
about
of
it.
sense. Very, like, mashing together different Mario stuff, but it was fine. No, I would give it a
Worth watching.
for you alone, no.
I did not watch the other Mario Brothers movie that came out with Chris Pratt or whoever is
Yeah,
Mario.
same
Watch that
crew,
one.
and,
That's the only interest in it.
Charlie Day and Anya Taylor-Joy and Jack Black.
I mean, Jack Black is Bowser, yes. Peaches,
Anything
peaches, 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 peaches. I heard the song so many times, but uh,
he didn't do any singing in the second one, which was interesting, it was just a random change in pace.
yeah, I'm excited for the Zelda movie, which is allegedly coming out next May, and I'm hoping they
Ooh.
do a good job with that. So,
Yeah, I gotta get my son into something like that. He's almost at that place where him and I can have
the
somewhat
Zelda will be fun.
overlapping interests. He's almost got cool interests at this point.
I saw a TikTok where this guy was I think he told his son he would get him something if he beat the water temple in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
I'm like that's mean. That's mean. Also, did you hear that there is a what are you doing? You made it worse. Ew.
I know. There's a potential what?
There's a potential I don't think Nintendo has officially announced it yet, but Ocarina of Time remake.
See, I never played anything but the first couple
What?
and then the last couple.
You
I
never played Ocarina of Time?
played Ocarina of Time. I feel like we've had this conversation like 12 times on this podcast, but I bet our people like it.
My brain doesn't remember shit, and you know that. Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. No, I played 1 and 2 on the old Nintendo, and then I played the one on Super Nintendo because that was great. And then I played, some Breath of Fire, a little bit of Breath of Fire, and then
I
Tears of
like Breath
the
of
Kingdom.
Fire. Did I tell you about about Breath of Fire and Boft? Did I tell you about that? Breath of Fire 2?
No.
So So my best friend and I, when we were kids, a different best friend, a kid best friend. When we were kids, we would play a lot of RPGs, but we played Breath of Fire too.
Or did I say Breath of Fire? Anyway, go ahead.
The what?
I just did I say Breath of Fire? Is that how we got into Breath of Fire instead of Breath of the Wild? What is it? Something of the Wild? Am I having a stroke?
Breath of the Wild? Is it Breath of? See, now I don't even know. Breath
What did
of
we
the
say about
Wild. Jesus
Breath of
Christ!
Fire
No,
2 was
here.
fun.
Did you not play
Terrible.
Breath of Fire?
Yes.
Oh, see, you said Breath of Fire. My brain totally went another direction
Oh.
and wanted to tell you about my friend and I calling it boffed, and my mom telling us we couldn't say the word boffed because boffed means intercourse. It's a
Oh,
name
yeah.
for intercourse. And my mom was like, "You can't say boffed while we're talking about two kids talking about Breath of Fire too." And my mom's like, "You can't talk about boffed. That means intercourse." And I'm like, "What?"
Wow.
Anyway,
Breath of Fire 2
well,
was a
that's a
good one.
weird place to end today. What?
Yep. Tell us what your favorite Breath of Fire was, people.
Yeah, and
That's
I
my audience
know
engagement.
that our listeners play video games.
No, listen. No, listen. How many of you are penguins? Fess up. Type 1 in the chat if you are a penguin.
I wish I was a penguin.
All right. Well, on that
Ryan, so y'all, Ryan has gotten progressively more tired throughout this, and it's really funny to kind of see the exhaustion like really set in.
really bubble up. Um,
Did you take your
we
Ambien already?
we love you, everybody. I've never done Ambien.
Good.
I don't trust anything on Ambien.
My mom used to make whole meals after taking her
Oh, no. See, I'd probably do something weird like that. I would never do it.
drive.
Yep.
Okay, final story, and then I'll let y'all go. I read an article, and of course, maybe this was fake. This was maybe before like AI went big, but allegedly, this woman she was a night nurse, and she would take Ambien during the day to sleep. And she had taken Ambien. She had gone to a car dealership and bought a new car. So when she gets up in the evening to go to her car to drive to work, she has a new car in her garage that she did not remember buying she purchased under Ambien. And I don't know if that's a real story or not, but it was something I read that I was like, yeah, that's something that Ambien can do. I've seen it do weird things.
Oh, no.
No. All
All
right.
right.
Thanks, loves.
Have fun, kids.
Yeah. I'm David Cato,
Not David Cato. I'm Ryan Drzwicki.
and we'll see you next time.
Later.
Bye.